Bloodcore whips are done. I know you guys been waiting for these whips, or you could just use them as shoelaces. It's a shoelace tan edge. We could have easily launched these in just a regular leather. People have been begging us for the Bloodcore laces to match all their Bloodcore products, their drifters, their bear slayers, their Indy ones and Bloodcore. But lace tannage is completely different than regular leather tannage. And so instead of trying to just capitalize and sell you guys some laces that break, we spent the time, found the suppliers, worked with Seidel to really develop this the right way to make this perfect. So if you've been waiting for your Bloodcore laces, they're now available. Check them out below. And it's limited quantities. We'll order these in batches, so get them before they're gone. And thank you guys for the support of Bloodcore. It's really cool to develop something like this and have you guys support it and be excited about it and continue to innovate and even just come out with laces is fun. So thank you guys. Check out the Bloodcore laces below and all of our other Bloodcore products, the wallets, the belts, lots of stuff in Bloodcore. Check them out below. You Barefoot dudes are gonna love these. Well, this project was basically done because the Barefoot shoes did so well. Like it was, you know, to me and the guys at Goral, Katie and Dom, were like, let's try the Barefoot thing. Let's just see what happens. Like maybe there is more interest than we thought. Maybe it's like, you know, like maybe this Barefoot world's going to continue to grow, and why not make the absolute highest quality version of a Barefoot sneaker that anyone can make? And that's what's been fun with working with Goral is like across the board, the collaborations are fun because they make boots and shoes at the top end of quality. And so when it comes to like doing collaboration, the most fun collaborations is not like, okay, let's make this the most affordable or let's make this an average price. Unfortunately, the most exciting ones are the most expensive and the most high end and the most overdone and the most ridiculous in every way. And people still get upset, like, well, do it more affordable and do more affordable videos. And I'm like, we try to do affordable videos. Nobody watches them. You know, like just looking at like Mocktober, I'm just in the middle of like planning it for the Mocktober finale, so it's somewhat on top of my mind. And we did the Go Keys, we did Rancourts, we did Russell, we did all the big brands. And I was like, all right, the people, ooh, this looks, the limb, I just got a peep of the limbs thumbnail and it looks like, the thumbnail's funny. They made it look like it's my toes on camera. You know, it's 17,000, 20,000, and then you get to the affordable moccasins, and it's like 13,000 views, 10 out of 10. You know, it's like it just didn't get hardly any views. And same with the collaborations. You know, it's hard to do something really cool and original and unique at that affordable price point. But we're also cracking that code too, because you know we launched that. I'm assuming you're watching this after the limbs launch. That limbs is, you know, $230. And gym greens are fairly affordable, so we still do it. It's just less interest, especially in the content side of things. Not that you care that much, but I think it's interesting. And like, yeah, that's the point of it, right? It's like there's Zero out there, there's Splay, there's all these brands that are making various Barefoot shoes in a really affordable price point. But it's so cool, dude. Try to make the absolute best of anything, and that's what this is. And after the Barefoot launch, immediately people were like, give us Bloodcore. We want the Barefoot shoes in Bloodcore. Give us a Bloodcore. And so I talked to Goral. I was like, is there a way we can get these launched before like Christmas? Because they're not going to be delivered in time for Christmas, but you can at least get your order in for Christmas. And so they approved a small batch. So that's what's in here. So let's open it up and see. Doing the Demco knife today. Pumpkin Guts Demco from our pumpkin carving contest. I guess I don't need it though, it's nothing to cut. Okay. Barefoot SMUGS in Bloodcore. Oh, look at those, oh my gosh. That is so cool. With the red stitching too. Look at that. That is so cool, because you get the pop of red right here through like all the spots where that raw edge is, and then that red thread looks so freaking good. Like right up here in these angles. And this pattern is such a cool pattern because we've integrated the padded collar for the high top to give you a little more comfort. And then instead of just stopping it there, we ran that line all the way down to the toe, because when you look down on top of it, this creates like a little waist that your eye naturally like brings the shoe in. So even though this thing is ridiculously wide and it still looks ridiculously wide, this waist and these lines really distract your eye from it, and they don't look nearly as crazy. That's why with some of the other brands, like we've been working with Splay Like they do little toe stitches here. Keen does those little toe stitches. Lems does their mock toe stitch that pulls everything in. And so all these brands have gotten really good at figuring out how to hide the width while still maintaining the width. And this pattern is just so cool. It turned out so like unique. You know, the regular SMUGS are your very standard, typical pattern, whereas this is very different. These are sick. Okay. And what is in this box? Low tops. Look at that. These low tops have drawn me a ton. Like especially in the blood core, I almost prefer the low tops and the high tops more than the high tops. They just have, yeah, they both look really good, but this in the blood core is really, really grown on me. Like I like this a lot. And like, here's a really cool little bit in here. Look at the foil. Let me get you a little zoom in here. The foil, look at that, isn't that so cool? Red foil to match the red blood core and the red thread. I can't get it to focus, but you see it. So which one do you like more? Do you like the full tall high top, or do you like the low top? Because they look basically the same top down. Yeah, I honestly like the low tops have grown on me a ton in the blood core. I think with the other colors, I still like the high tops, but these low tops, they just turned out so good. And it's still built like the traditional way that Goral does it, a veg tan insole, the Blake stitch construction. Oh, this is the cool part. So it's still very SMUGS because you have a little lining in the toe, just like the SMUGS. But because this leather is so thick and tough, like this is a work boot leather, this is Latigo leather. There's no reason to line it. And so in a barefoot shoe, it makes even more sense to not line it. And just for the whole concept of SMUGS, sneakers made using good shit, we're trying to combine like a boot and the simplicity and the ruggedness and the durability that comes from simplifying footwear construction, combined with the barefoot world, with all the wide toe box, the zero drop, the this, the that, but also pulling in what Goral does. You know, some of the finest English sneakers of all time. I literally forgot what I was talking about with that because I got myself hyped. Yeah, these turned out good. So just a quick unboxing, just wanted to show it to you. No reason to overemphasize it because I've talked about these 1,000 times, but I think this might be my favorite version of the Barefoot SMUGS. Because it's just a little pop of red, you know, like they mostly just like, they look black and very sleek, but you get a little closer like, ooh, oh, I want to show you this actually. There's one more thing. I don't know how I missed this on the first batch of the Barefoot stuff, or maybe they've changed it since then, but I just want to show you this really, really like beautiful and smart way they did this tongue. Because you know, most tongues, you're gonna have a seam right there where your toe piece connects to your tongue piece. And that's fine, that's how most sneakers are made. But especially in a heavy leather, that creates a pressure point there because you have two pieces of leather lapped over top of each other and then sewn. That's why it's a pressure point, especially in a big toe box where you want all this and all that stuff we've been talking about. And so they solve this in the most beautiful way possible. And this is like how this to me is like perfection in design. When you can solve multiple problems by simplifying the design and making it look more aesthetically pleasing, that's all you're shooting for with design. So instead of that piece coming right there and seaming across, and instead of having the lace keeper a separate piece, all they did is they ran that toe piece up to the middle of the tongue and then used that tab as the lace keeper. And so you eliminate that little pressure point there. It moves all that pressure point, and you can see there's that hard line there that is not fully lined up with this line, so you don't get that full overlapping. And it just looks beautiful. Like this is very similar to how they do it with like Pacific Northwest boots and work boots. And then they added in the integration of the lace keeper. That is brilliant design. And that's not me, so I can say it like that. I didn't design that. That's either the designer that helped us with it or it's Goral. And that is sick. And I think it's on both, yeah, because you can see this one, it runs even higher. So you have that completely seamless through there. So it looks clean, it eliminates a pressure point, and it's just a classier, cleaner, and smarter way to do it. And I'm like, this shoe is sick. So that's it. Get these before they're gone. Super limited quantities. They launch on this date, which they launch, actually, I can tell you, I know what date it is. They launch November 20th. No, is that right? That sounds wrong. Yeah, 20th. They launched November 20th, limited quantities. And you know, this is an exclusive leather that they can only work with us on, and Seidel's been really awesome at like developing this with us and keeping it exclusive. And so because of that, you know, we only do a few batches a year, limited quantity, so get them before they're gone. And let me know what else you want us to work with Goral, because we got some ideas cooking with Goral for next year. But I want to know what you guys want to see. You know, I've got some ideas. But what else do you want to see us make with Goral? Because they just make things so uniquely compared to any other brand in the world with that Blake stitch construction, and the veg tan insole is such a, like, it's so different that I'm trying to figure out how else we can utilize it and spin an old style in a new way or a new style in an old way, you know? So thank you guys. Thanks for all your support of Goral. It's been really cool working with them over the years. You know, when we first started working with them was way back in like 2019, probably, when we did the white sneaker series, and where we roasted the shit out of common projects, and the whole internet flipped out and was like, you're wrong. And then we literally proved the entire Common Project fan base completely wrong. And I don't even know if Common Project sells sneakers anymore. We might have, like, I know we took a chunk out of their business, because as soon as someone exposes a business for selling designer prices, but like bottom of the barrel quality, not bottom of the barrel, average quality, nobody trusts it anymore. And I honestly don't even know if Common Project sells sneakers anymore. So that's what happens when you don't make good stuff and you charge a high price. But anyway, thank you guys. See ya.